Hey guys, welcome back to the show, and on this episode I'm going to be talking about a movie that I would actually recommend watching if you want to experience just how hilariously bad it truly is. This is Hack-O-Lantern from 1988, and this is the perfect movie if you're looking to hang around with some friends and laugh at a movie on Halloween. It's really great for a Halloween bad movie night. So let's start things off by taking a look at the poster. All right, so we got some kind of a demon with, what is this? A cultivator? And that's really all there is on this poster. They show it to us twice, so they must be serious about it, which is good because I hate movie posters that show things that aren't actually in the movie. Anyways, the movie starts on this crisp autumn day when Tommy is visited by his grandpa, who has a truck full of pumpkins. And it's weird, I feel like this character looks like Mike Myers disguised as Jim Varney disguised as Mike Myers. So then he gives Tommy something special because he's very special. Anyways, Tommy starts carving his pumpkin and throwing the innards at his sister, which is a total waste. Do you ever take the pumpkin seeds and bake them? Absolutely delicious. If you haven't tried that, try it. You throw some salt on there. But then he cuts himself with the knife. And this isn't the typical reaction you'd expect from a kid who, by the looks of it, cut himself pretty bad.
Oh, Tommy, we have to wash that.
But Mom, I like the taste of blood. Grandpa says it's good for me.
So his mom, Amanda, is pretty pissed off that he's talking to his grandpa, and even more pissed off that he gave him that pumpkin. And I have to say, the pumpkin is a pretty nice gesture, if you ask me. But, yeah, telling the kid that drinking blood is good for him, that's a cause for concern. So then she smashes the pumpkin, which really sucks. I mean, that's kind of a waste. It's a decent-sized pumpkin. And Bill is like, all right, that's enough. I'm going to go confront the old man myself. Bill drives over to his place where he finds that a satanic ritual is going on.
We don't like trespassers here.
Yes, and neither do I. But I have to say, if I was conducting a satanic ritual, I would probably not leave the door wide open. And that's just me. I like my privacy. Especially if I'm doing something demonic. So they kill Bill right away and burn him inside of his car.
Burn in hell, Bill.
See, now for all you young people out there, take note. This is why you want to do the best that you can to get along with your father-in-law. Because you never know what people are capable of. Now, if he runs an evil cult, I'm not saying join the evil cult. But, you can fake some interest. You'd be surprised. That could go a long way. So now we see Tommy looking out of his bedroom window, and there's an orange glow coming from outside. How close does the grandpa live? Like, can Tommy literally see his father being burnt to a crisp right now? Tommy opens the special gift that his grandpa gave him, and it turns out to be a necklace. Something that older Tommy has held on to 13 years later. And it looks like Grandpa is still coming over to hang out with Tommy, and Amanda is not happy about it. I mean, come on, he's still living in the basement. Get a goddamn job, move out. And here's the thing, this is supposed to take place 13 years later, which would make Tommy, 22, 23, 24. Well, let's just say, for argument's sake, 24. That is a hard 24. He looks like he's at least 30 here, which would actually make sense because the actor who played him was 32 when this movie came out. Also, this actor is Gregory Scott Cummings. He's been in a bunch of stuff, but I mostly recognize him as Mac's dad from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Anyways, it's Halloween, and Grandpa tells him that tonight he'll learn what power is, and he will prove himself to his creator. And this is hilarious because it makes no sense. He leaves and drives around for a while, and then suddenly Amanda just appears in front of the car. I mean, how fast did she have to run to get from the house to this location in such a short time? Anyways, Grandpa reveals that Tommy is actually his son, and that after all these years, Amanda is still a temptation for him, so that's really gross. There's a short flashback here that takes place on Amanda's wedding day, and this is actually pretty funny because Grandpa keeps doing this sign. And it's like he thinks this is going to put Amanda under a spell or something. And it's funny because he does this throughout the movie, and it always looks hilarious because it's like he's just making it up each time. You know, like it's some kind of a devil mind trick. The best part is, I'm pretty sure they were going for devil horns here, but they kept doing this, and this, I believe, means I love you in sign language. Anyways, Beth, who's a friend of Amanda's daughter, Vera, comes over and wants to surprise Beth while she's taking a bath by switching out her loofah for a fake spider.
My favorite day of the year!
Yeah, don't be mad at me. It's my favorite day. And it's totally normal for friends to sneak in on each other while they're in the tub. Yeah, that's not weird. It's not weird at all. I mean, you could do that to me and I'd be totally fine with it. Really. Do that anytime. You could do that tomorrow. At around 7. Anyways, Amanda goes to the basement door and she's like, hey, Tommy, we gotta talk about how weird you are. And he's like, leave me alone, Mom. I'm busy listening to my Walkman. So then Tommy falls asleep and we have to watch basically an entire music video for the song he's listening to. And Tommy is playing a guitar in the band. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this is completely pointless. I know a lot of you are shocked to hear me say that, but yeah, it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't lead to anything. It's a waste of 4 minutes. The only purpose is to extend the runtime, basically. Fans of this show know how much I hate long musical interludes. Anyways, Tommy's girlfriend, Nora, is at the store buying booze. And this is funny because the cashier says the total is $40. Nora gives her one bill, and the cashier says $15 is her change, which would mean that Nora gave her a $55 bill. Anyways, Grandpa tells her to take him home, which I don't understand. It's not like he has to do anything to really prepare for the ceremony tonight. What, he's got satanic homework? What is it? Amanda is really upset about Tommy and wants her 3 kids to try and stick together, especially around Halloween, because that's when their father was murdered and left to burn. Something that I guess was never really investigated by the police, or at least not investigated very well. So Roger says, don't worry, I'll talk to Tommy. Is he around? Well, of course he's around, Roger. He's in the basement pumping iron, getting ready to join Grandpa's evil cult. He's got to look super jacked because, otherwise nobody will really be all that impressed. I mean, if you're going to join an evil cult, you want to look your best. You got to make a good impression.
God, Tommy, what the hell is wrong with you? Why don't you do something meaningful with your life?
So Tommy is like, I do stuff. Check it out. It's a little closet shrine. See, Roger? Nothing to worry about. Your brother obviously has hobbies to spend his time on. And you probably thought he was on drugs.
Now I know why Mom's so worried about you spending time with Grandpa.
Another thing I love about this movie is the writing is so bad. It's one of those movies that loves to remind the audience just who the characters are to each other through the dialogue again and again.
Don't tell me. It's my big brother again. Come on. I'm your little brother.
After all, you're my brother.
So Amanda goes to visit the grave of her dead husband, and then we see a flashback of when she used to lie on top of him like a dead fish. How romantic. No wonder she misses him so much. Grandpa goes to the hall where everyone is getting ready for the Halloween party. And I'm just going to tell you right now, the grandpa is the most entertaining part of the film. Sometimes I have no idea what he's actually saying.
Ain't you the good two-shoes that gave you them guns?
I watched this whole movie with the subtitles on, and even the subtitles had no idea what he was saying sometimes.
Oh, that. What are we going to do with him?
So Grandpa isn't too thrilled that Roger is a cop, and Roger tells him that he's going to be doing his job and protecting everyone at the party tonight.
I say, damn your job. If it means your grandpa can't have any fun on Halloween.
Okay, so what does that mean? Are you saying that you intend on doing something illegal tonight for fun? Shouldn't Roger inquire about that?
Some strange things have been going on lately. grave robbings, satanic rituals.
So Roger knows all that stuff has been going on lately. He also knows that his grandpa is clearly into that sort of stuff. So, hello, Roger. I think maybe you might have a suspect right in front of you.
See you in hell, Roger.
But no, Roger's just like, oh, Grandpa, he's such a rascal. Telling me he'll see me in hell, that is so Grandpa. Tommy finds Vera making out with her boyfriend, and this really pisses him off, so he throws him out of the house. Then he goes down into the basement, and I guess this is him getting ready for his big night of joining the cult by making sure he has his mask, putting on a bandana, and, of course, checking to see if his switchblade still switches. Vera's boyfriend is walking through the cemetery, not exactly sure why, seems like an odd choice, but suddenly he hears the sound of a shovel digging, and this freaks him out so much that he starts running as fast as he can. And I'm sorry, but this just doesn't seem to be that scary of a situation to be in at all. I mean, it's the middle of the day. It's not like you're in a forest at night. You can literally see all around you. Just look at this place. And somehow he falls into an open grave. Is he blind? How do you not see this coming? Not only is it an open grave, but there's a bunch of bones and a skull in it for some reason. See, that's what happens if you pay for the plot, but not the casket. They just throw your body into the open hole. It's actually not a bad way to save some money. But I just feel like, it's your death. Treat yourself. So then the masked stranger kills him with one swing of the shovel. And here we are in Grandpa's barn, where they're conducting the ritual and passing around a cup of blood from a goat.
Let us share the blood.
Share the blood.
Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I gotta say something. And I'm just being honest here, but I think this is really gross. It's my least favorite part of the ritual. The fact that we're all sharing the same cup. Isn't there a better way to do this? Can't we have our own individual cups, with our names on them? And that way they won't get mixed up, and everyone will always know which cup is theirs. Can I at least bring my own glass from home? I don't think Satan is really going to care. I mean, we're still drinking the blood, right? Okay, how about this? Hands up if you're cool with the individual cup idea. So I guess Roger has been tasked to go check out the cemetery since there's been a bunch of problems there recently. So he takes Beth because what's better than a first date surrounded by dead people? They find a bunch of kids out there who say they dropped their candy and they were just picking it up, which still doesn't explain why they were there in the first place, but whatever. Then Beth and Roger start having sex on top of a grave because, I don't know, I guess everybody in this town just loves spending time in the cemetery. Wait, what the hell is wrong with you people? Do you not have a Blockbuster? Is there nothing else to do? Beth grabs the hand that is sticking out of the grave, but thinks that it's Roger's hand, and I guess neither of them notice this at any point during the sex session. So now we're at the Halloween party where they have a stripper for some reason. And while this is going on, the band stops playing, but the drummer keeps going, even though it's obviously pre-recorded music. Beth takes Vera out to show her the grave where she had sex with her brother, because that's what she wants to see. I'm serious. She actually wants to know where they did it.
So, tell me, where did you guys do it?
So Vera is like, hey, there's a hand here. I'm gonna pull on it because it must be fake. And holy crap, it's her dead boyfriend. Don't know why it was such a shallow grave though. I mean, he's hardly buried. Yet the grave he fell in was pretty deep. Vera thinks Tommy killed him, so she goes to her grandpa's place, but tells Beth to wait outside.
Just stay here, Beth. It's a family matter, okay?
Yeah, it's just typical family murder stuff. It's boring. So Vera walks in there and accuses Tommy of killing her boyfriend.
You shouldn't have come here, Vera.
But he killed my boyfriend, Grandpa!
I like how she just blows past the fact that there's a satanic ritual going on. Like she doesn't even notice it. She's literally standing underneath a severed goat head that's suspended from the ceiling. There's candles, people in robes, there's a pentagram on the floor, and she, it's just run-of-the-mill, ordinary family stuff. This is all normal.
You have intruded upon the ceremony of blood.
So Grandpa tells Tommy he has to kill Vera because she interrupted the ceremony. But Tommy just can't bring himself to do it.
For God's sake, Tommy! I'm your sister! No! She's my sister!
Yeah, if it was anybody else, I'd slice them up into pieces. But my sister? Okay, Grandpa. Killing strangers for Satan, that's one thing. But family members? Like, that's a little crazy. So I guess Grandpa is like, well, I guess there's only one thing left to do now. Put on this mask and go to the Halloween party.
Tommy can't save you.
So I guess it's just understood that Tommy and Grandpa are going to fight to the death. And you may be thinking, okay, great, we're at the climax of this thing. We're going to get a suspenseful final battle. But no, this is over in like 15 seconds. This is honestly the most disappointing part in the movie because there hasn't been any build up to it. Tommy has been going along with Grandpa this whole time, and then he makes the decision to not kill his sister, runs away, and the next thing you know, the movie wants us to believe that they're fighting to the death. We really didn't see any buildup of internal conflict within Tommy, so because none of that was developed or escalated, this fight has no intensity. Roger returns to the party after leaving with some other cops to check out the barn, and Vera is like, oh my God, I think Grandpa is dead. And right before he dies, he touches Roger on the forehead. Roger shoots Tommy on his way out the door because why not? I mean, he never even saw what happened, but you might as well assume shoot first and ask questions later. Tommy stumbles around outside before finally falling down and taking off the mask to reveal, oh my God, it's not Tommy at all, it's Amanda. What an underwhelming twist. And before she dies, she tells Tommy that all she wanted was her family. But wait, it gets even twistier. It turns out the cult is now being led by Roger. And that's it. So, in the end, it looks like nothing really got resolved. It's kind of depressing. Amanda dies in vain, and now Roger is leading the cult. Because why? Grandpa touched him on the forehead before he died? That's all it takes? Well, if that's it, why didn't he just go around to everybody in town doing that all the time? You know, like, yo. Now, this movie is pretty horrible across the board, but like I said before, the Grandpa makes this movie hilariously watchable. The character doesn't even have a name, it's just Grandpa. And he was played by an actor named Hy Pike, who played Taffy Lewis in the original Blade Runner.
You ever buy snakes from the Egyptian, Taffy?
All the time, pal.
But that's pretty much it for this one. As usual, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Okay, you know what? I don't want to always be the one complaining, but just one more thing. Do we always have to have this in a barn? Is there anywhere else we can do this? Because it really stinks in here, honestly. I mean, when you go to a barn, you're anticipating a certain level of stank, but this is way beyond that. I don't know what this is. The severed goat head probably is contributing to it, but still, the hay, the dust, the dirt, it's making my allergies go crazy. Like, I am so stuffed up right now, it's not even funny. I can't even, nothing. And you know what's funny is that I put out a bottle of reactant on the table before I came here. Like, don't forget. And then, of course, I forgot. Yeah, it always happens. But the individual cups are working well, so I had one good idea. Maybe this is another one. And this isn't the typical reaction you'd expect from a kid who, by the looks of it, cut himself pretty bad. I'm gonna be honest with you, every time I watch that part, I get a little nauseous. I'm thinking about it right now, and I don't feel like, I feel sick. Just, I don't even want to talk about it, but the taste of blood, okay, so at this Halloween party, they booked a stripper, a stand-up comic who only does a few jokes outside, a band, and a belly dancer There's also like a snake charmer. It just seems like an odd combination. See, if it was me running that party, I would cut everybody out except the band and use the money to give everybody who came a few free drink tickets. Now that's how you start a party.